What's happening, crypto fam? Happy Monday. Hope you woke up nice and happy anyway. It's bank holiday for us, so most of us are off work. Yeah, good morning. Welcome back to Love for Crypto. I'm Scott. Whether you're watching on IGTV, Facebook or YouTube, it's a pleasure having you here, and I appreciate taking the time out to consume the content. So, did a little video yesterday about Mark Carney mentioning the dollar and the global reserve status and this, that and that, and then we got a lot of feedback, should we call it, a lot of feedback and engagement in the comments of the video about the special drawing rights, the SDR basket, how it's a basket of currency, and XRP can't do it on its own, blah blah blah. So number one, we've said all along, XRP is just the first, it's the standard. But if you can't keep up with it, then fuck off. So yeah, there'll no doubt be more than one bridge asset in the end that people get a choice to use. We said that when the level playing field phrase first came over a year ago. You can't have a level playing field of choice if your only choice is XRP. Throw XLM in there straight away, but ILP, programmed how it is going XRP all the time just because of its fundamentals and the way it works. It just is, I'm sorry, and until you make one that can do it as fast or faster and has the same fundamentals, the same reliability, the same speed, the transparency and the rest of it, then you're nowhere in the water. Now, as for the special drawing rights of the IMF, they've been out since 1969. They solved the problem, didn't they? What? People going on about stuff you clearly haven't researched. The SDR basket was brought about in 1969. Right, so the special drawing rights, abbreviated SDI, ISO 4217, currency code XDR, are supplementary foreign exchange reserve assets defined and maintained by the International Money Fund. SDRs are units of account for the IMF and are not a currency per se. Interesting. They instead represent a claim to a currency held by IMF member countries for which they may be exchanged. SDRs were created in 1969 to supplement a shortfall of preferred foreign exchange reserve assets, namely gold and US dollars. This is gonna be, if you look into it, as the Triffin's dilemma and that was being realised, or they started to realise that there was a shortfall in certain reserve assets like gold and the US dollar. So they needed a solution, didn't they? So they came up with the SDR, and it's pegged with the US dollar, the euro, the Chinese yuan, the Japanese yen, and the pound sterling. It's the UN credit. So the UN credit you all see in the future films, Altered Carbon on Netflix, stuff like that, and it's like, oh, there's no money here, it's just UN credits. That's your XDR. That is the future credit, XDR. But before we get there, we've got to tokenize all the fiat so we can have instant settlement. Now, you can't just tokenize all the fiat and have a basket of tokenized fiat, because you've still then got the Triffin's dilemma, still a load of currencies that are subject to their country's markets. Let's layman's terms it like that. You know, contagion and all that. So if you got your currency pegged to other markets, you get affection in your markets, you get contagion into yours. So you're still gonna have a Triffin's dilemma, because the subject to a country is centralized system still in it. Even though they're gonna get tokenized, it's still, you're not getting away from the Triffin's dilemma. Now, XRP as a bridge, again, not going to be on its own. It needs them CBDCs. You can't have a bridge over water without land either side. You can't have a bridge between currencies without currencies either side. You know what I mean? We're not saying XRP is going to bridge to nowhere. Yeah. So SDRs are allocated by the IMF to countries and cannot be held or used by private parties. The number of SDRs in existence was around 21 billion in August 2009. During the global financial crisis of 2009, an additional 182 billion was allocated to provide liquidity to the global economic system and supplement member countries' official reserves. By October 2014, the number of SDRs in existence was 204 billion. The value of an SDR is based on a basket of key international currencies reviewed by the IMF every 5 years. The weights assigned to each currency in the XDR basket are adjusted to take into account their current prominence in terms of international trade and national foreign exchange reserves. In the review conducted in November 2015, the IMF decided that the Chinese yuan would be added to the basket effective 1st of October 2016. From that date, the XDR basket now consists of the following 5 currencies: US dollar at 41%, the euro at 30%, the Chinese yuan at 10%, the Japanese yen at 8%, and the British pound at 8%. So, they've been about. So why it's not the solution. It wasn't on-demand liquidity. It's not solved the world's problem. It's not going to facilitate the internet of value, and it's not going to be a perfect bridge currency, because as stated in that, it's not a currency per se. It's a unit of account, a unit of credit. XDR, it's £1.13p. It's £1.13p. So let's just throw it fucking out there, mate. Little 50 years time, I've gone to Mars. I've gone to fucking Mars, mate. And I've got wallets with God knows how many fucking currencies in. And I get to Mars and I'm like, how much is that fucking glider there, bro? I want that fucking glider. I want to mooch around Mars on that glider, mate. Oh, that glider, Mr. Pratt, is 100 UN credits. What's a UN credit, you might say? Well, it's 100 XDRs, which is currently £1.13p, so it'd be £113, wouldn't it? I'd know like just off my local currency, GDPX or XGDP, whatever they want to go and fucking call it, USDX, these tokenized currencies. They're going to be our go-to. How much your XRP worth? Now, depending on where you're from, you're going to say dollars, pounds, whatever, yeah? What's your UN credit? In your red, it's going to pull back to your currency. SDR basket, yeah? It might be staying around, but it's not worked as it is, and it's going to change. It's not staying at fiat. All fiat will go to tokenized currencies. They will then need a bridge asset. Like Chris Larson and everyone says in the past videos, the world will not agree on one ledger. Someone's going to come out, oh, well, they're not going to have the one made in America. I've said this before. Ripple's open source. XRP's open source. If you wanted to make XRP right now on your own, and you somehow knew how, because there's only about 4 people on the planet that know how to do it, but if you somehow knew how to do it, and you went to do it, why would you do it? Why would you waste your time when it's already out there and it's open source? It's like Vitsvind didn't go and make his own crypto and then make a tip bot for his own crypto, did he? He had a cryptocurrency and a ledger out there that's open source that anyone can build on. And he built a tip bot on top of it for Twitter. It's absolutely unbelievable. Why would you go and make... Now again, come back to the beginning of the video. Someone will eventually. Some Russian is going to be like, I'm not using Ripples. I mean, I might have to at the time being, but I'm going to make my own as soon as I can. And China might do the same, and the EU may do the same. And then we'll have a healthy choice and a level playing field. But at the moment, XRP is the standard. ILP is the chosen protocol. It's get on board or get off the fucking ship. I'm afraid it is. It just is. Can't wait for some two-way conversation about all this stuff at DLTCON Limited. So if you haven't got your ticket already, get on it later on. I think today's the last day for sale for, but I'm going to increase it up till to next week so people get more time. You know the script. Live long and hodl, baby. Oh yeah, we love crypto, we love XRP, and we love you. Fuck yeah. Peace.